This is a graph that I made on every instance where someone said Iran was working on a nuclear weapon and how long they said it would take for them to have one. Like, follow, and share this. The very first instance was in a magazine in 1984 called Jane's Defense. They said Iran is moving very quickly towards production of a nuclear bomb and could have such a weapon within 2 years. Now, this was seen as Cold War hype because Iran was just coming away from a revolution and they were deeply entrenched in the Iraq-Iran war. The second instance was in 1992. A little-known parliamentarian by the name of Benjamin Netanyahu with political aspirations said that Iran would have a nuclear weapon in 3 to 5 years. Now, at the time, Iran had begun legitimate nuclear research for civilian energy. He used these talking points to push for preemptive action against the Ayatollah and the government of Iran. And then we have 1995. A CIA report came out in 1995 under the Clinton administration that said that Iran was a few years away from having a nuclear weapon. There was no specific time frame. It specifically focused on the natural resources that Iran had, like uranium mines, and the fact that they were buying nuclear technology. In 1996, William Perry said that Iran would have a nuclear weapon within 5 years, 2001. It was 100% speculative, and no intelligence at the time confirmed weapons-related activity. And then we have 1998. The Israeli Defense Force said that Iran would have a nuclear weapon by 2005. And then we skip all the way ahead to 2002. George W. Bush labels Iran as part of the axis of evil. And then we go to 2004. Colin Powell says that Iran is working hard, quote, quote, on developing a nuclear weapon. Now, this was a contradiction because the International Atomic Energy Agency went to Iran to inspect their sites and was like, they're not working on anything. And then we go to 2006. Israeli intelligence once again says that Iran is working on a nuclear weapon and they'll have one by 2009 or 2010. At this point, they did start enriching uranium, but again, it was believed that it was only for civilian energy purposes. In 2009, Barack Obama is like Iran is 1 year or less to developing a nuclear weapon, but his strategy was different. He wanted to bring them to the table and have an open discussion, and he started the JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, also known as the Iran nuclear deal. In 2012, that parliamentarian from the beginning is now the Prime Minister of Israel, and he goes to the UN and he gives his famous red line speech. And he says that Iran could build a nuclear bomb by 2013. In 2013, Israeli intelligence cables are leaked, and they say that Iran is, quote, not performing the activity necessary to produce weapons. It showed a major disconnect between what they were saying publicly and what they were saying in intelligence behind the scenes. In 2015, Obama and Iran strike a deal known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the Iran nuclear deal, which Iran signs. In 2018, Trump is president and he takes the United States out of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, also known as the Iran nuclear deal. In 2021, all the way up to 2024, Israel continues to say that Iran is capable of making a nuclear weapon within weeks. So to put this in reference, it has been 41 years of this continued back and forth about what Iran may or may not have and when they may or may not have it.